This is a video response to Anaconda 1984, and she was asking about childhood games and other things did during break time. Basketball was pretty big when I was going to school, and we also used to play a lot of dodgeball. Dodgeball was basically one person had the ball and they decided who they were going to aim the ball at, and they fired the ball at that person. If they hit them, then that person gets to grab the ball, and they would pick out someone else. And it was just hitting people with a ball. It's this real soft ball. It was about the size of a basketball, but it was a lot softer. And we played dodgeball all the time. At home, during the summertime, I used to hang around with a bunch of friends, and we played baseball. Now, the dimensions of the backyard, back of the house that I lived at then, were pretty much the same as a baseball field. A little bit shorter going from base to base. It was probably about maybe 60 feet from base to base, where I think Major League's 90 feet. And the outfield was pretty far. I mean, it was probably a good 300 feet to where the edge of the property was, which is what it would be from home plate to a wall in a stadium. Well, the way we compensated for that was, instead of using a baseball when we played baseball back here, we used a tennis ball. And a young kid can hit a tennis ball as far as an adult can hit a baseball, because you hit a tennis ball with a wooden baseball bat, that thing takes off like a rocket. And we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of high-scoring baseball games, and it was a lot of fun. The one thing that was bad that happened in those baseball games was, if the catcher did not catch the ball, right behind home plate was the street, and we lived at the top of a hill. Okay, so if the catcher didn't catch the ball, he would have to run out into the street, and then pretty much the ball would start rolling down the street. And it was a long street. We've had times when we had to wait for the catcher for probably a good 20 minutes before we could resume the game, because he missed the ball and he had to chase it all the way down the bottom of the street. And it was so funny. We'd just be laughing. He'd be out of breath by the time we got back up to the top of the hill. But we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We used to ride bikes all over the place. We had a lot of paths that went through the woods, and we rode bikes everywhere. It was also a time when there was a little bit of a housing boom, and the development that I lived in, they were building new houses here, so sometimes we would go out where they were building the new houses and kind of just like play around in the mud out there, and that was a bit of a challenge for our parents, because the people that were building those houses really didn't want us to do that. But we were kids, and we did it anyhow. And during school, we used to mess around all the time. I had a bad habit. Used to take, now this is a pen here, but I used to take a point of a pencil when I was in second grade, and I would go around to people and I would always go, get the point, get the point, get the point, poke with a pencil. I got the nickname Porcupine, and to this day I still have the nickname Porcupine, hence my name on here, Coffee House Porcupine. The coffee house part actually started when I was a child also, because you don't become an adult till you're 18. But when I was 16, I started hanging out in coffee houses, just sitting there and drinking coffee and I wasn't much for going around and partying with my friends. I did not like to party. So the alternative to that was go to Denny's or go to Howard Johnson's, sit down at the counter, meet all the other counter regulars that came in there every night, and drink coffee. And that's what we did. We drank coffee. And now I'll be 54 next month. And I still hang out in coffee houses. I still drink coffee. I still play the occasional game of basketball. But I'll be happy to admit I no longer poke people with pencils. That stopped after second grade. Got into a little bit of trouble back then. Thank you for allowing me to bore you. And have a great day. Bye.